There is a moment in every furnace when the metal begins to glow. Not red, not yet. A dull, dirty orange, the color of something being broken down at the level it was built. And here is the strange part. The blacksmith is not trying to destroy it. He is paying very close attention to the exact thing that looks like ruin. Because he knows something the metal does not. He knows that everything the blade will ever be, its edge, its strength, the way it holds a line under pressure, is being decided right now, in the fire, in the part that hurts. So, let me ask you something before we begin. What if the worst season of your life was not the thing happening to you, but the thing happening for you? Hold that question. We are going to earn the answer. 2,000 years ago, a Roman wrote 4 words that have outlived every empire since. Ignis aurum probat. Fire tests gold. The man was Seneca, statesman, playwright, one of the richest men in Rome. And he was writing to answer a question that still keeps people awake at 3 in the morning. If the universe has any order to it at all, any justice, any meaning, then why do good people suffer? Why does the decent man lose the job? Why does the honest one get betrayed? Why does the fire always seem to find the people who least deserve it? Seneca's answer was not comfort. It was almost the opposite. He said, "You have it backwards. The fire does not find the good man by accident. It is sent to him on purpose." Picture a general. He has 1,000 soldiers under his command, and one mission that could get a man killed. Who does he send? Not the weakest. Not the one he doubts. He sends his best. The one he trusts to come back. The one the hard task was practically made for. That, Seneca said, is what hardship is. Not a punishment handed to the cursed. An assignment handed to the capable. The trial is not proof that life has turned against you. It is proof that you are being asked to carry something heavier than most. He had a word for the ones who never struggle, the ones cushioned from every blow, who never once feel the heat. He did not call them lucky. He called them unproven. Like gold that has never seen the furnace, you simply cannot know what it is worth. And there is a quieter line underneath all of this, easy to miss. Seneca was not telling you to enjoy the fire. He never said the pain was good. He said the pain was useful. Those are not the same thing, and the difference is the whole point. Now, it is one thing to write about fire from a warm room. So here is what most people never tell you about Seneca. He did not learn this in a library. In the year 41, he was accused of a crime he very likely did not commit. The politics were ugly, the charge convenient, the outcome decided before it began. And he was exiled, not to somewhere gentle, to Corsica, a rock in the sea, far from Rome, far from his name, far from everyone he loved. For 8 years. Sit with that. The man who would one day write Fire Tests Gold spent the better part of a decade as the metal in the furnace. No audience, no status, no certainty he would ever go home. We tend to imagine the philosopher as someone above it all, calm, untouched, dispensing wisdom from a height. But the truth is harder and far more useful. Seneca wrote about surviving the fire because he had been left in it. The words were not a theory. They were a wound, healed over, made into something that could hold an edge. Now come forward 2,000 years to us. Because we have built something Seneca never could have imagined. A world engineered end to end to keep the fire away from you. Cold air on demand. Food without hunger. A glowing rectangle that erases boredom the second it appears. Every sharp edge of existence, sanded down, padded, removed. And we call this progress. And in many ways, it is. But something gets lost in a life with no heat in it. We have produced, perhaps for the first time in history, a generation of gold that has never seen the furnace. Comfortable, safe, and quietly terrified of the smallest discomfort. Because here is the cost. No one prints on the box. A blade that is never tempered stays soft. A person who is never tested never finds out what they are made of. And we do not have to imagine what happens to a thing that is never made to resist. We can watch it. Take a healthy man and put him in a hospital bed, not sick, not injured, simply still. Within weeks, his muscles begin to waste, his bones grow thin, his heart, with so little left to push against, weakens by the day. Nothing attacked him. The damage came from the absence of resistance, from having nothing to push back against. The body does not keep its strength as a gift. It keeps strength only for as long as something demands it. Take the demand away, and the strength quietly leaves. And what is true of the body is true of the man. Strip every obstacle out of a life, every struggle, every weight, every cold morning you would rather not face, and you have not done that person a kindness. You have put them in the bed, comfortable, cared for, and growing weaker by the day, in the exact place their strength was meant to live. And the fire you spend your whole life avoiding, as Seneca says, is the only thing that could have shown you your own strength. So let us go back to that furnace, to the metal, glowing dull orange in the part that looks like ruin. Remember the question, what if the worst season of your life was not the thing happening to you, but the thing happening for you? Here is the answer. Seneca spent 8 years on a rock in the sea, learning to give. The fire was never trying to destroy you. The fire is how the shape gets in. Steel does not become a blade in spite of the flame. It becomes a blade because of it. The heat is not the enemy of the edge. The heat is the price of the edge. And every hard thing you are carrying right now, the loss, the setback, the season that brought you here, is not evidence that you have been abandoned. It is the furnace, and you are the metal. And the only real question was never why is this happening to me? It was always, what am I going to become because of it? The blacksmith never panics at the glow. He has seen it 1,000 times. He knows the fire is not the end of the metal. It is the beginning of the blade. Ignis aurum probat. Fire tests gold. Let it test you. This was the first stage, the fire. The raw material meeting the heat. But fire alone shapes nothing. What comes next is the part most people never survive, when the heat is not enough and the blows begin. That is the hammer. And that is where we go next.